telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public face, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barrett and Sue. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up of the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US, and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up of the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather wrong, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand strong. Benskop upon the radio, lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and on the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already, we have to boom it up again. Expose and reveal him. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the truth. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the truth. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop,
Hi, good night and welcome. It's Monday night. My name is Mark Benshap. Welcome to Straight Up on 107.1 FM. Spread the word. But hey, guess what? Elections in the United States of America on November, let me see if you guys got it correct. And not the 3rd, not the 4th, but on November 5th. You guys know that's the date that you've got to go out, you've got to vote. Lots of threats and all manner of things that they're not going to accept the elections. That's the Trump side is already saying he's not going to accept the elections results if it's not in favor of him, and all manner of things. Just imagine, guys, that is their definition of democracy. And certain hypocrites have none whatsoever moral authority, none whatsoever to talk about the elections in other country and even to mention the word democracy. Hey, how are you guys doing? My name is Mark Benshap. We're not going to fight over anything tonight. I'm going to read your comments one by one tonight. I'm going to take the time out to do just that. It's not that I don't do it, but tonight is going to be a special night just for that. I don't want, and this is particularly directed to the female in the audience, and maybe others, but the females in the audience, please do not fight over me. I know it happens often in the comment section, mind you. Do not fight over me. I just do not. Whatever I do, whatever I say, however I look, it's just me. Do not fight over me. I'll get to that point. I'll elaborate a little later on as to why I do not want anybody fighting over me. None whatsoever. If your name is Shay, if your name is Shoy, if your name is Vanessa, whatever your names are, if it is Stacy, hello there, do not fight over me. If it is Onage, if it is Priia, do not fight over me because can we all just get along? All right, what else is happening in your neck of the woods? Talk to me. I've noticed some of you guys have been planning a possible trip to Guyana to uplift $200,000. So I had to break it down for some folks and do the math. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute, just wait a minute. You are going to spend about $600 or $700. Take some time out of your job to go to Guyana to pick up or uplift 960 plus US dollars. It doesn't make sense. And as some folks who understand the system would say that this is basically what they are doing is short term. It makes no sense in the long term. It doesn't offer much to the country. It's just basically, like you take a tux or a tux or whatever. You just walk through, whether it is Linden Market, Mackenzie Market, or, well, there's Wisma Market, Mackenzie Market, Port Morat Market, Corriverton Market, Skeldon, and then you have Blackbush, also Blackbush Market, And then Buxton had a little market, and then they have Manripo. Speaking of Manripo, hi, Polari lady, right? And so you walk through and you take a little tux and your money done. It done. There is nothing else you have because your money done and it gone for gravy. It's just like back in the days, they have some of the fast bowlers like Kapil Dev from India, and they say Kapil Dev comes in the northern end and he bowls to Gordon Greenwich and Viv Richards and those guys. And then you just hit the ball and it's gone. That's it. It's done. That's the same thing with the 200,000 Guyana dollars. It is gone like salt. You buy a couple Polari, you buy a couple $200 black pudding, white pudding, whatever, and your money done. Annandale Market, Rajan Bim. How can I forget you guys there at Annandale? Good night to all of you, wherever you are. I've noticed Deborah Sharona Lynch is back with us. Enjoyed. She spent out all her $200,000 already, enjoying her birthday. And speaking of birthday, hey, I hope you guys having fun. If it's your birthday, if you're celebrating it today, yesterday, tomorrow, during the course of this week, you know we love you guys and we appreciate all of you, every single one of you. Some of you agree sometimes, you disagree sometimes. We all one big family right here on 107.1 FM. But the disrespectful ones, the minute you're getting disrespectful, it's either two things. You've gone bloujum, you're gone for six. That's it. You're done. And don't cry about democracy. Don't cry about freedom of speech. You can't walk in our house just like that, cuss we up, blaze we up, disrespect us, and then expect us to open the door and welcome you. We don't play that sort of thing here at all. So you could cry how much you want, cry about freedom of speech and democracy. While we appreciate, we respect that, we opposing views and so forth is acceptable. But it's the cussing out and the disrespect, y'all ain't gonna get away with that. Anyways, what else is happening? Check in the comment section. What else is happening? You can talk to us. We are here to talk to each other. But again, let me repeat, do not fight over me at all. It has happened before, dancehall all over, people just fighting for Mark. And now I see that has gone into other areas, people fighting. They're fighting over a guy who was part of some movie, was in some movie, Bad Boys. Honestly, I don't know the movie. It's the first time I got to tell you guys that I've heard of the individual. No disrespect to the individual, but honestly, I've never heard of him until when he was in Guyana, CPO, I think it is. Again, no disrespect to the brother. Absolutely no disrespect. But maybe it slipped by me in Bad Boys. I don't know. Who's Bad Boys? Is it with Will Smith? Is it? And some other, I don't know. Tell me, what about that movie? Have you guys seen that movie, Bad Boy, or is it Bad Boys? And so the youngster, I've never heard of him. But not because I haven't heard of him means that he was, again, don't get me wrong, right? So what movie is that? Some Bad Boy movie? Let's educate each other. Somebody said Bad Boys, starring Stacy. Hey, Aaliyah Waldron. Remember, Onage Waldron is also starring in a movie. So you can't say it's starring Stacy and leave out probably your cousin Onage Waldron. Right? No, don't play that with us tonight, Aaliyah. Hope all is well with you, and good night again. Good night to all of you. I recognize, I see you guys here. What's happening? What else is happening in your neck of the woods? Let's go on here now. So we have very important things to discuss, but don't allow yourselves to be distracted, guys. And over the past couple of days, everybody fighting over $200,000. $200,000 they're fighting for. And I've said in one of my posts that this Granger here has more value than the 200,000 that the PPP is giving out. It's just a short term. Like you say, you get a headache, and it depends on who you're raised with. If is your grandmother, she can tell you buy some tea or bush tea or your bilious or something like that. But if you grew up with your parents, you know who they stay. They're different than the grandmother. They can tell you drink an aspirin or a Tylenol or something like that. And some other parents, they'll give you some lashes. You get a headache, no? Lashes will get you bad, and that's it. Well, not all parents are like that. Maybe. All right. So what else is happening in your neck of the woods? For days, all y'all talking about, not y'all. Look, let me say this to y'all. It's a diversion. And that's what the PPP does. The PPP gonna say, here what happened. We can talk about the $200,000 for the people, one household that is. It's a massive corruption scheme. You're going to hear about it. Thousands of people wouldn't receive anything, but the bulk of the monies will be going into the hands of cronies of the PPP regime. The poor people out there in Maibikuri, Blackbush Polder, they're not going to get that. The poor people in Wim not going to get that. The poor people at Philippi not going to get that, or Cromarty, or Alnis, Kilmarnock, and those places, Eversham, Epsom, Topside. They're not going to get it. Corruption galore. Notice the man who is seemed to be the expert in corruption, Jagdeo, who is said that it is said that he has a huge bank account of billions of US dollars in China. And it is said that he has that in the name. He has a passport, a Zahirian passport. I don't know, maybe Irfan Ali and Jagdeo can say whether they have bank accounts in China and whether they're using a passport from Zahir, right? Ask them those questions whenever you run into them. And if they like, they can basically say whether they do have accounts in China. And we understand why they're owned by China. Jagdeo and Irfan Ali, basically, they should walk around with suits that's marked on it, made in China. They're owned and bought for by the Chinese. So don't be fooled. So what else is happening in your neck of the woods? Now, in the beginning, we spoke about the distraction. And the $200,000 is just that, a distraction. Hey, Vilma Adams, we got to welcome Vilma. Where have you been all the months and months away? Where have you been? It's really good to see some of you guys who disappeared, but you're back with us. You can't live without us, so you have to move back into our house. Well, glad that you guys are back again. So, hey, the $200,000, it's a distraction. They are stealing billions upon billions of dollars, and they want everybody to discuss only the $200,000 while they're stealing billions upon billions from you, the taxpayers of Guyana. So don't worry with that distraction. It's just a drop, not even a drop in the bucket. It means nothing. In the short term, people are just going to, maybe for 2 days or a week, they're going to go out, enjoy themselves. And nobody's going to talk about once the shop owners in your village, in your communities, once they realize that you get money in your pocket, what do you think is going to happen to the price? The price is going to go up. And those who have studied economics can tell you about inflation. The prices are going to go up. Cost of living is going to go further up. It's not going to go down. And you will watch the impact that it has at a short term. It's nothing that is impactful to the country. It is nothing that's beneficial in the long term for the country. It is what it is. And some of you folks have already been saying that it's an elections bribery. That's what it is. So they're going to capture some folks. They're going to give them $100 million in contracts and saying that I love you. They're going to give them $500 million and their head going to spin, get ning, and say, what you want me to do with $500 million? A poor man like me would never, ever imagine ever handling $500 million for God in heaven knows what. But those who are receiving the contracts don't see it as an opportunity or from a standpoint that they are being used and they're being brainwashed. But then again, some of these hustlers don't care. You think them care about what we say and whether it's about brainwash and all. They don't care. A hustler got to make money because money got to make. End of story. They're going to bring all sorts of stories about coffee couldn't do this body couldn't do that, all in the name of justifying themselves for a few pittances. And they don't understand that in the long term, it is hurting people within their own communities. But at the end of the day, them ain't care because money got made. Money got made. So if the small hustlers now see an opportunity to drop whatever they got to do, and take the PPP money, well, you get senior police officers taking PPP money. You get pastors taking PPP money. You get reverends, you get pundits, you get mages. All of them taking, well, now the taxpayers' money, right? So we are them little hustlers going to do the same. Because money got made, money throwing away. There's no justification, mind you. But if the PPP is stupid enough to give the money with the intention of buying votes, and they're not sure whether they're going to get those people's votes, well, it is what it is. But don't think for a moment that the PPP Gonna give them hundreds of millions of dollars and don't secure their votes. Not only sometimes votes they got to turn around and give up. I repeat, not only votes alone they got to turn around and give up. Right? Anytime you see Kwame in a picture with people giving out money, oh lad, oh, mouth open, story jump out. Some of you might say, what is Mark talking about on this beautiful Monday evening? But I repeat again that anytime Kwame is in picture, giving out money to people, taxpayers' money, must know, hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more.
Sometimes I just can't take my own attitude no more. But it is what it is, though. I want to touch on something here quickly again, and this is about the fighting over some actor by the name of Scipio. Let me say this, and this is my opinion. I'm not concerned about a Stacey, Raman, and she's part of whatever it is. I'm not too bothered about Stacey, and I'm not too bothered. But here is something that caught my attention, though, and I'll tell you guys what really caught my attention about this. Now, this lady probably through her visit Guyana, some organization, whatever it is, decided that she's going to invite certain people to Guyana. And so she decided to invite this guy who starred in some movies called Bad Boys or something like that. Bad Boys, right? You guys know the whole thing. You can let us know, discuss it in the audio. Bad Boy, right? Bad Boys, some movie. And so through her organization, she brought him to Guyana. And so she brought him to Guyana. She believed that she should be in control of his movement. So members of the PPP, and I want you guys to listen carefully, right? And this is where I say to Stacey, to the PPP, good for the PPP, good for them. The PPP deserves everything that Stacey is doing to them, and here is why. Here's what I'm going to tell you this. So it's obvious that Stacey invited. Wait, is how this guy hugging Stacey? Anyway, sorry about that. Let me pay attention to this show, right? Sorry about that, guys. I must apologize. So Stacey invited her organization, invited this guy, and she got through. Big time she got through, right? To have this guy in Guyana. So as he got into Guyana, and Stacey got to do your thing. His name is Jacob Scipio. And this was on October 5th. Stacey was saying actor Jacob Scipio last visit to Guyana, recapping his emotional journey back to his ancestral home. And this is Stacey interviewing him. Stacey don't make joke, Stacey interviewing him. Stacey went where they went. They went Kaichor Falls together, all over. Stacey and then the PPP regime wanted a cut of this too. They wanted a piece of the action. Priia Manikchan wanted a piece of the action too. And so Priia Manikchan got involved. She saw this opportunity, and guess what she did? She ensured that she got a cut. She wanted a cut out of this thing. She ain't going to allow this actor. I am almost certain she never knew him from Jump Street. I am almost certain she never watched the movie. She doesn't know this guy from Jump Street, but there is something that's so captivating about this guy that drew him to Priia Manikchan and caught Priia Manikchan's attention. Priia Manikchan decided that she has other purposes for this guy. She wants him to do something on the part of the Ministry of Education. And so in doing so, she invited him to QC to talk to the students, of which 95% of them, I am almost certain, never watched the movie, doesn't know this guy. But it's a good inspirational story that a Guyanese guy got his thing in a movie to talk about humble beginning, his father's homeland, which is good. And again, I am not knocking this actor at all. at all. This has nothing to do with any personal thing against the actor. I got to watch the movie, though, to see what role he played. But Priya wanted a piece of the action because Priya was adamant that Stacy cannot get all the show. Stacy's not going to steal this show. They want a piece of the action. So in order to get a piece of the action, Stacy probably had to get some, they got to spend their money. They got to spend taxpayers' money. And so Stacy decided that if they got to spend taxpayers' monies so that this actor can travel around and do whatever, now you can't blame Stacy for that. It's taxpayers' money. And the PPP wanted full control of this guy. And Stacy in having none of that because Stacy was like, no, 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 no. You can't do that. She ain't giving up. She ain't giving up the mountain. She ain't giving up Jacob. So no matter how much they try, and all of them tried. Onage tried. Priya Manikchan tried. All of them tried. And this is what Priya Manikchan said, actually. Yesterday, meaning September 27th, it would have been September 26th. Yesterday, the Ministry of Education exposed high school children to Jacob Supio, right? Very pleased. Priya is saying very pleased to say he is not just a pretty face. Oh, y'all see where this is coming from, right? He is not just a pretty face. No, 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 no. Pretty face and bad character. Them not kind of living on a... all right, so we get where Priya and them are coming from. So what attracted Priya to this guy is the pretty face. And so she wanted to just let us know that, look, it's not just about the pretty face, but we know it's about the pretty face. She says now, he was great. Holy smoke. You go, Priya, girl. He was great. And there it is, Priya, at... Queen's College, dear, looking at the pretty face. Oh, I am almost good at reading body language and facial expression and so forth. What a pretty face. Okay, so we now get a good idea as to what this fight is all about. We now get it. And so some of you jumping down, Stacy. Oh, Stacy, they can't stand Stacy. Now, maybe some of you may have reasons for that. Now, I don't follow Stacy. I don't know her that well. I don't know what is, but I've seen her trending at times. And Stacy don't make joke for the ancient picture, you know. I want Stacy there in a picture right behind me here, right next to me, and take a selfie. Stacy is good at those sort of things. She markets herself. She markets her brand. And maybe that is what it's all about too. But when it comes to this guy here now, there seems to be a big fight over the man, a big fight. They're fighting over the man. Who paid money for him? Who? Let's take a quick break. I don't want to wrong talk.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%. Yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people.
Okay, sorry about that. So we've got to be back again now. Look, and so they're fighting over this actor. Look, I will tell you this: if I were to interview Priya Manikchan right now, I would ask her if she ever saw the movie, if she know this guy, and I'm almost certain that her response is going to be no. The only movie probably Priya would watch and probably would say that she can talk is from the movie Kayama Se Kayama Kat with Amir Khan. And that song in that movie, she probably remembers it word for word. Papa Kitare Baranamo Kadega, Beta Hamada, Haisakamo Kadega, Magadeyeto, Kohi Najani. Hi, Priya. How are you? How come Priya doesn't look at us like that in Guyana? No, I'm not jealous of Supio. But according to Priya Manikchan, he has a pretty face. So that is what this fight is all about, guys. That is what it's all about. Control. And so this woman, Stacey Rahman, in giving up on the guy she brought to Guyana and the brother, And so look at what Stacy wants to be in everything you see. Stacy's all over. Stacy and the guy. I saw interviews with Stacy and the guy, and it was a pretty closed up interview. And so that's okay. We're all adults. Me and Gabe, I don't mind people business. But she apparently the fight now is who give money. That's the fight. Who give money? And according to these folks, Onage Waldron is saying that they provided money to Stacy, and therefore Stacy got to be all these sort of things. So they're fighting. They're fighting over the. They felt that they were wrong by Stacy because they give Stacy money to promote this guy. That's the allegation, that they give Stacy money and Stacy in giving them no bly, so to speak. Good for them. I don't blame Stacy. Good for them. They give people money, just like they're doing with these guys they're rounding up. Hi, doggy. Hi, guys. They're rounding them up and they're giving them money in the name of contracts and these sort of things, and they feel that they own them. And Stacy in taking that. Stacy said, y'all didn't give me nothing. I am the one that did all the hard work. So Stacy went out there, probably went out, whatever it is, to get the guy to Guyana. And you telling me Onage and all them want to steal the woman's thunder? Look, man, some of you on social media might be attacking Stacy and saying that you have every right to do so. But on this note, I say good for the PPP. Good for Onage Waldron, good for Priia Manikchan and them. It's good for them. Stacy did them exactly what they have been doing to people. Stacy probably take the taxpayers' money, do what she gotta do, and gone your way. Y'all don't be too rough on Stacy. Good for them. And look, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back. So I gotta give Stacy this one here.
I wanna hear about. Tell a girl say, me's a girl, me no fight over man. From a little bit of just some tana. This a girl on glow and game one. After that him turn fool can just get the bomber.
And we can't leave it out to, Priia. Priia, if you're watching, what's going on, Priia? Tell us about what's this cat fight all about, because that's what it is. They basically go around thinking that this pretty face guy, right? Pretty face guy is going to bring them votes. So Priia, this is for you too. Let's go.
Hear about. Tell a girl say, me's a girl, me no fight over man. From a little bit of just some tana. This a girl on glow and game one. After that him turn fool.
Guys, maybe that's what it is, guys. Maybe that's what it is, right? So we have far better things to discuss. But Stacy get the trophy from me. Not the regular trophy, but Stacy, I'm glad what you did to them. They want thief, they want steal your thunder, right? That's what they want to do. But the story all started where Gordon Mosley put up sometime on October 4th that actor Jacob Sapio reflects and says thanks. He says thanks. So this is a video where this guy went out and said thank you to all the Guineas, all this. He enjoyed himself. Kaichor Folds, he was all over because his dad is from Guyana. And so he's been planning to go to Guyana for a while. So he enjoyed himself. And so apparently there's this John Green video for Guyana tourism. So the Guyana tourism, which is headed by this woman here, right? This woman here, Onage Waldron. And so the video was released and Stacy got angry that she didn't get an opportunity to edit the video. And in editing that video, y'all know exactly what Stacy wanted to do with that video, right? Edit the video to reflect the organization or the Facebook page that she has. That is what it was all about. And so she didn't get a chance to do that. And so the Pashwe started. The Pashwe started. And so the Onage Waldron issued a comment saying that Stacey Rahman, this lie that Visit Guyana is the sole funder of this visit is totally unnecessary. In addition, it's distasteful and disappointing. Well, people view the PPP as distasteful, they view them as disappointing, and those sort of words should be directed directly to Onage, the PPP, and their gangsters. So that's what it is about. Don't lose sleep, guys. I repeat, don't lose sleep over that, because it is just what it is. It's a cat fight, a political fight, and a fight, a turf war, basically. And for this, I say Stacey Rahman pulled the biggest stunt on the PPP regime, and the PPP is vexed about it. So be careful how you jump in this race and taking the side against Stacey. Should support. Thank you, Stacey, for doing what the PPP always go out there and do to people. All right, so here what else is happening. Here what else is happening. And so let us get to this here. Money. Almost $50 million that we are aware of. Almost, I repeat, almost $50 million. $50 million, almost $50 million. And you guys have been reading some reports in the papers, especially the Guyana Village Voice. You guys got to go to the Village Voice and read what's happening as well. And so almost $50 million deposited in the account. We're seeing some reports coming out of Ivlery. Clifton Hicken, there's a letter to the effect that he is aware, allegedly, he's aware of millions of dollars. There's this circulation. The acting top cop hasn't denied anything, but $8.5 million, Mr. Hicken is claiming that was given to him by a businessman to finance Brutus's wedding. Now, the Commissioner of Police needs to call an immediate press conference to say publicly, instead of hiding behind the skirts of some sort of ridiculous run to cover up statement by Karim Baksh, who's the head of SOCU, the Special Organized Crime Unit, or Irfan Ali. They need to have a press conference. The Commissioner of Police, Clifton Hicken, the acting Commissioner of Police, Clifton Hicken, should have a press conference by tomorrow to say to the nation whether he accepted 8.5 million Guyana dollars or more from a quote-unquote businessman. He also needs to reveal the name of that quote-unquote businessman who paid for, allegedly, for the wedding of a senior police officer. In this case, it is alleged that that was done to finance Brutus' wedding, allegedly. Now, why is it important? Because some folks in the audience might be saying, so if a businessman or a so-called businessman finances, no, it's not sour, it's sour. Not sour. It is unacceptable. And therefore, if the evidence points in the direction that Clifton Hicken was part and parcel of that, then there should be no confirmation of him into the substantive position of Commissioner of Police, and he should be removed with immediate effect. We want to know who is that quote-unquote businessman. The other thing is, why would a businessman take $8.5 million, assuming that that's the case, mind you, $8.5 million to Hicken to give to Brutus? Why? Stop for a moment to think. Why is it that that so-called businessman could not have picked up the phone and give that directly to Brutus? Why should the businessman go through Hicken? Something is not adding up. It could be that the businessman may have, if the story is accurate, given maybe $10-15 million. And if so, then there's a high possibility. I'm not saying that it is accurate because it's all allegations, right? But if you are going to give somebody something, if you're a businessman, are you going to give 8.5? Or are you going to try to round it off? Maybe 8, or maybe 9, or maybe just say $10 million. But this figure of 8.5 is not adding up. Something is not adding up there. And so while it is not adding up, and we continue to speculate based on the allegations, guess what? The commissioner, the acting commissioner of police needs to speak out right now. Can't hide behind someone like Anil Nandalal to speak on his behalf, because Anil might have his own issues, right? All right. And so Clifton Hicken needs to speak out. And he needs to speak out with immediate effect. Before we get to that, the Brutus is not saying much because the matter is on the investigation. The other person who needs to speak out is Irfan Ali. Irfan Ali needs to say whether he received a statement, a copy of a statement that was given to Soku that he requested, and Karim Baksh submitted that letter to Irfan Ali. Irfan Ali needs to say whether he's in receipt of that information. And maybe that is the reason why we're seeing ease in this haste to have Hicken confirmed. If it is accurate, then Irfan Ali is also aware as to who that business, quote unquote, businessman is who allegedly financed the wedding of Brutus. The nation needs to know that. It is as a matter of, what is it? He likes to say, as a matter of national security. So if they want to appoint, if they want to confirm, Hicken as commissioner of police in the interest of national security, then in the interest of national security, the nation should know who is that quote unquote businessman that allegedly financed the wedding of Brutus. We cannot have senior police officers collecting monies from businessmen. We know that many of them do that. They collect money as a way to cover up for crimes, cover up for murders, cover up for abductions and kidnappings and all these things. And while we're on abduction and kidnappings and so forth, it is said that 2 senior functionaries, senior ministers of the PPP regime are under the radars of U.S. law enforcement agencies as a result of covering up for especially the recent abduction of a young man who has not been seen since. So that's exactly what's happening. And at the end of the day, that's precisely what is happening in Guyana. Corruption upon corruption. I noticed Roxanne Best already said, I noticed lots of people, But when you see this whole can of worm that is open about all of the corruption, and senior ministers are linked to the corruption, you've got to understand what is happening in Guyana. Senior ministers are linked to corruption. Senior ministers are being accused of covering up this recent abduction of a young man who was said to have taken in the village of Buxton and executed. But that story is not going to die down just like that. It has already caught the attention of foreign law enforcement agencies. The other thing that's so worrying and sickening in Guyana is, apart from senior police officers who have had their visas revoked, it's troubling that a very senior law enforcement officer in the country is under investigations for drugs. Yeah. Drug smuggling and protection of drug lords, a very senior law enforcement officer. That's where Guyana is at this point in time. Let me just say goodnight to all of you who have just joined. I've been reminded that there's a notice of appeal in the matter of Christopher Jones and Hicken and so forth, and it's been 2 years and they're still waiting on that. And maybe that's another form of cover-up, but it is what it is, right? Lots of covering up. Let's move on to this here. According to Minister Prasad, she is the Minister of Human Services and Social Security. Her bumps raised now. Her bumps raised. She is vexed now. She's saying, hey, this is what she's saying. Auditor General report on WIIN, flawed and inaccurate. That is what she's saying, that the Auditor General report is inaccurate. And let me just give you guys a quick rundown on that report. This is the report. Auditor General's report finds big flaws in government program for vulnerable women. And that is why Minister Prasad is upset. But let me say this, according to serious allegations leveled against her ministry, massive, widespread corruption in her ministry. Apart from what we're hearing and seeing from this Auditor General's report, there's been corruption, widespread corruption on the pension books. When folks go to uplift their pensions with their vouchers and all these things, fake vouchers, massive corruption in that ministry. And so I can understand why Prasad, the Minister Prasad, is upset. She is very upset. But they're not telling you guys the truth in terms of the pension book fraud. And now we're hearing about this WIIN program. Massive corruption. I don't know what's happening, but hey, remember about 2 weeks ago, this very Minister Prasad, through her ministry, is saying that they are going to restart adoption process that has been put on hold for several years now and affected a lot of applicants. Lots of people have been affected. So they said within 1 week, that was since last week or the week before, and there's nothing at all. So they come out and they make these statements and they run back in their shells. Whatever is going on, what's going on? Somebody should ask the minister what is going on with the adoption. But let us go back to this Auditor General report, and those are the women. And this is a program through the Ministry of Social Services and Social Security. And so this is the program that the Auditor General saying is basically he finds big flaws in government program for vulnerable women. And in the report, it is said just about 16% of monies allocated for the program, guess what? Just under 16% went to the women. The bulk of the money went into the pockets of others. And this is what the Minister Prasad needs to be talking about. Where is the money? All right. So let me take a look at some of your comments to see what else you guys wish to speak on today. Jamal Aziz is saying massive corruption in the Amerindian ministry, the Ministry of Indigenous Affairs. That is true. It is not limited. The corruption is just not limited in the ministry. It is all over Ministry of Agriculture. It is at GMC. It is all over. And if you're going to have corruption in the high offices of law enforcement officers in Guyana, the Commissioner of Police, it is alleged that he is corrupt. The Commissioner of Police, the acting Commissioner of Police, it is said, received received a brand new SUV from a quote-unquote businessman. It is said that Brutus, allegedly received a brand new vehicle from a particular quote-unquote businessman. And, these are things that they should come forward. They should tell you their linkage with individuals who are said to be wanted by U.S. law enforcement agencies, either for money laundering, either for drugs, either for gold smuggling, and so forth. And it is alleged that very senior police officers of the Guyana police force protect those individuals. Forget about the lower ones like the Caesar and so forth, who serious allegations are leveled against him. And maybe that's why he was questioned by U.S. law enforcement officers. Everybody seems to be questioning these days. Even ministers, when they travel, they're being questioned. Even permanent secretaries are being questioned. And speaking of permanent secretary, let's get back to the minister Prasad at the social services. Maybe she can tell us why the permanent secretary, Rupnarain, was removed from that ministry and sent over to the Guyana Revenue Authority, where she holds a very senior position at the Guyana Revenue Authority. And now that's the same permanent secretary that was in hot water when she was at the Guyana Rice Developmental Board. Allegations of corruption there, over nearly $200 million. And then when the PPP got installed, these people, well, of course, the matter was taken to court, and as a matter of insufficient evidence, the usual thing, insufficient evidence. And so she became permanent secretary within the Ministry of Social Services. And she was recently removed with not a question, not an explanation, nothing. And she was sent to GRA. Maybe the Minister of Social Services can explain why that permanent secretary was removed, and it was just a hush hush. And they had it been somebody maybe like May 2 son, right? Maybe we would have had some sort of explanation, but only the likes of May Toussaint will be thrown out there to the wolves. And good for people like May Toussaint. Throw them out there to the wolves. But people like Priia, I believe not Manik Chan, but Rupnarain, you protect her, right? By not saying why she moved from there. All right. What else is happening? Forget about this egg and chicken scandal. They seem to have covered everything up. Money suddenly put back, and everything is honky-dory, right? Everything is honky-dory. Every single thing is honky-dory. All right. What else is happening in your neck of the woods, guys? As we look at the time, it's 56 minutes after. Almost that time. Yana Tilaya saying headache giving her a migraine. You can just imagine how people are feeling. Now let's get back to Clifton Hicken. Clifton Hicken needs to have a press conference and to basically say whether the allegations are true or not, that he received $8.5 million from a quote-unquote businessman. But wait until once he confirms that this story is true. Now, we don't know whether it's true, but if he confirms that the story is true, the next question would be, who is this so-called businessman? Who is this businessman that they received 8.5 million Guyana dollars? Like I've said, it could be more. 8.5 million Guyana dollars to fund, allegedly fund the wedding of a senior police officer. And again, why did the money have to go through Hicken and not directly to this senior police officers? Why? Those are the questions that need to be answered. Do you remember they rushed to hold a press conference to cover up the Paper Shorts murder? Cover it up, allegedly to defend their people who have been accused of murdering Paper Shorts. And that was the whole issue. So they rushed within less than 48 hours, they called a press conference to cover things up. to cover it up, cover the police being part and parcel in terms of covering up the crime. Just like what they are doing currently with the young man who was abducted, taken allegedly into Buxton, and was executed. That is exactly what has happened. And so the senior police officers who are covering up that crime, along with two senior members of the PPP cabinet, two senior ministers, are part and parcel in the covering up of that crime. Sooner or later, the answers will, or the evidence will be possibly out in public domain. So that's exactly what's happening in Guyana. I'm looking at some of your comments. Good night, those of you who joined us late. And if you joined us late, as we started off, another form of distraction is this young lady seemed to have hurt the PPP, where the PPP is claiming that they gave her money, her organization money, to bring this actor into Guyana. And all of them were fighting for the actor. All of them were fighting for a piece of the actor. Sorry about that. Almost choked for a moment. I wouldn't do it again. And this is when Priia took the actor to Queen's College. And, Yaga. Gosh, Priia, I'll pay $200,000 for you to tell us exactly what's on your mind there, Priia. $200,000 to tell us what's on your mind. But anyways, we already know what's on Priya's mind because Priia already said what it is. She said yesterday, which was September 26th, the Ministry of Education exposed high school children to Jacob's appeal. Very pleased to say he is not just a pretty face. He was great with authentically answering the children's question and spoke of the value of hard work. So do you know they have other actors and actresses? Do you know they have other individuals who are big, probably bigger than Supio? But Priia, they wouldn't pay any attention to those individuals. Why? Maybe because they don't have a pretty face. And so because of his pretty face, it seems as though captured the hearts of many women in Guyana. Many of them, including Priia. Oh, just looking at that pretty face guy, right? No, guys, I'm not jealous. Pretty face too, but yeah. So Onage and all of them are battling and fighting, and they're saying that Stacy is wrong. Stacy is wrong. Stacy is wrong. This time I ain't saying Stacy is wrong. Stacy right fit dig it in there. Come close to me. You know, before we go, I'm looking at all these photographs and how they're fighting over Supio. I hope when I go to Guyana next month, they go, oops, I should not give out. I hope they'll be fighting over me like this too, bye. Priia?
I want to hear about. Tell a girl say, me's a girl, me no fight over man. From a little bit of just some tana. This a girl long glow and game one. After that him turn fool, can just get the bomber. Type this girl no fight over man. And everybody knows say we are name brand.
And them a fight over man. And everybody knows said them a name brand. I get you guys. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time. But before we go, now I'm gonna leave that one for tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna leave that one for tomorrow. Can't give you guys everything tonight. Just gotta leave it for tomorrow. Good night to all of you folks. Again, wherever you're watching, whether inside of Guyana, outside of Guyana. I've got to go. I've just got to go. I wanted to tell you guys something else, but I've just got to go. Prepare for elections, guys. It's next year. Don't be distracted with the monies. Don't be distracted with them banners who have money got make and they got grab the money. They got sell their souls. They got sell everything. And like again, I've said, anytime you see banners there, pictures with Kwame taking money for contract, that's no. I gotta get off here and just go and pray. And I say, Father, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'm out of here, guys. I love you all. God bless you. And pray for Guyana. You've got to pray for Guyana. I'm out of here. So long. God bless you.
Yeah, my name is Jasmine Caldata, Francis Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my ex next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people, so just hold and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public face, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up.
Tell a girl say, me's a girl, me no fight over man. From a little bit of just summertime. This a girl long glow and game one. After that him turn fool, can just get the bomber. Like this girl no fight over man. And everybody knows say we a name brand. When me a wine, me give the wicked Islam. So me sorry for the girl them out there when I have no clown. Feed out fi broke me love me, yes I mean that. Girlfriend I did, but how I did she a hear that? Me put it on a send him home and tell him go pray that.